Hey everybody, it's Brooke with The Buttered Home and welcome to My Messy Kitchen. This month we are talking all about food gifts and some really good ways to have treats for the people that you love. Now, everybody knows here in the South one of the top food gifts or small bites for this time of the year is sausage balls. Well, today we're going to show you a slightly healthier version of that. We're going to be making our delicious and easy pecan sausage balls recipe, and we'll be using turkey sausage. So stay with us, you won't want to miss this one. Okay, so this is very similar to a traditional sausage ball recipe, especially the one that we have already on the Buttered Home. This just adds in some slightly different flavor components. We use turkey sausage and we add in our favorite nut here. Next to the peanut is our pecans. So this is really simple. We're going to get started by adding in 2 cups of plain all-purpose flour to a large bowl. Now to this, we're going to add in our 3/4 cup of chopped pecans right in. And I keep these on hand for this time of year. I do a lot of baking with them, use them in crust and shortbreads and things like that. So our friends over at Priester's Pecans have these at the ready if you need some too. All right, now we're going to add in our baking powder. We're going to add in 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And I get this question a lot. Why not just use Bisquick? All right, well, I have some very specific reasons why I don't like to use Bisquick, and that is preservatives. It's got other things in it that I can't pronounce. So if I can't pronounce something on the ingredients, then I'd rather just use the old scratch method of making things myself. That's just how I am. I'm a little bit old-fashioned that way. I can't help it. All right, now we're also going to add in 1 teaspoon of salt, good heavy teaspoon. And you can skip the salt too if you would rather, if you're watching your salt content. And this next thing you can skip too, but we like to add this in. We're going to add in 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You can do more, you can do less. You don't have to do any at all. You can substitute this with smoked paprika or another warm spice. Nutmeg comes to mind. I know a lot of people don't love nutmeg either, but if you like it, if you like a warm spice without being hot, savory addition to things like sausage balls, nutmeg is kind of a no-brainer. It adds warmth without adding heat. So that's why it's used a lot for recipes like this. All right, so we've got that all mixed up really well. You can sift all your dry ingredients together and then mix in your chopped pecans if you want to, but there's just really no need. I like using just a whisk to do all that with. Just makes my life lots easier. Now today, we're going to be getting our hands dirty. You can certainly do this in a stand mixer if you would rather, but a lot of people don't have stand mixers, and I'll just be honest with you, a hand mixer just won't stand up to this, what we're about to do. So clean hands are a cook's best tool. So I like to show methods of preparing things with the bare minimum of fancy kitchen equipment. It's good for everybody, whether you own those things or not. So that's why we're doing it by hand today. All right, so we've got all our dry ingredients mixed up. So now we want to add in our wet ingredients, and we're going to be adding in 2 to 4 tablespoons of avocado oil. I'm going to start out with 2 tablespoons. And the reason why I said 2 to 4 is because you're just going to have to see what your mixture looks like. Now I have 16-ounce package here of regular ground turkey sausage, And I have found the easiest way to open these guys is to snip off that little end right there, and then take it and just run your knife right down the center and just pop it out. Now we're just going to take that off in big chunks and put it into our mixture here. Now just let me clean off my hands. They're going right back in, so I'm just wiping off the excess turkey sausage from my hands just so that I can get my cheese out. Now we have grated sharp cheddar. Now you can grate this yourself. I tend to cheat just a little bit from time to time and get from Aldi this grated cheese. I like it. It doesn't have a lot of those anti-stick things on it. So I've got the finely shredded sharp cheddar. That tends to work the best with sausage balls. So we're going to add in about a cup, maybe a little more, of that grated sharp cheddar. And this is also room temperature. This and the sausage are room temperature because it's a little easier to mix. Now, I'm doing this with my cook's clean hands, and I'm just going to get in there and just pick up that flour and squish it around with the sausage. It's messy, yes, and it feels weird, but I leave one hand undone so that I can clean all this business off. But what I find is folding that flour in when it starts to get sticky from the bottom up helps get it nice and incorporated a lot better. Now, this is going to be really dry and really kind of scraggly. If it is, that's fine. You don't need to add more flour. Trust me on that. Just use what you've got here and roll with it. There's going to always be some at the bottom. So that technique of picking it up and squeezing it in is the perfect way to mix your sausage ball. And now these are tips for any sausage ball recipe. There are some things that are just better done by hand, and to me, this is one of them. Now, if you're making a double batch of these guys, a stand mixer might be your best friend. These and cheese straws can be kind of cumbersome if you have mobility issues with your hands and whatnot. All right, so once you have the majority of your dry mixture from out of the bottom there is whenever you're ready. We're going to mix these further as we make them. So I'm just kneading it in. And because it's a lot in our bowl here, and see, look, all that sticky just eventually just kind of came off my hand. And I got some flour on it to boot. So I have a sheet pan that I have fitted with parchment. Now you can do this with a spoon, you can do it with a ice cream scoop or a cookie scoop, it doesn't matter, but I suggest at least use a spoon to get an idea of the size that you want so that they can be uniform. Then we're just going to squeeze it, roll it, and form it into that ball and place it on our sheet pan. These are a lot like cookies in the respect that you want to give them plenty of room to cook all the way around and have that air be able to circulate around the sausage balls. So we squeeze, and then we roll. And then we place them about 1 inch to 1.5 inches apart to 2 inches on our sheet pan. So as we roll these out, one of the things that I did want to mention is if you are left with excess in the bottom, you can re-knead by just pressing the remaining batter in the bottom with your fist, just like that. Then scoop it up and you have picked that up, and then you can knead it back in. So that's one of the beautiful things of doing this as you go, is that you can continue to pick up any excess in the bottom of your pan and incorporate it in just by gentle kneading of the dough. And then you take that further by doing the squeeze method and then placing it on your pan. So it's a labor of love and it's time consuming, but it really makes a difference in your sausage balls. Also, if your mixture does tend to be too dry, you can add up to I'll do this about a tablespoon at a time of the oil. And I'm using avocado oil because it can withstand higher heat, and we're cooking these guys at 400 degrees. So anywhere from 2 to 4 tablespoons, just depending on your mixture here, that you might need just to make them a little tacky so that that flour is easily absorbed. Now, once we put these in the oven, they're going to cook first for about 25 minutes. Then we're going to take them out and we're going to check them with our meat thermometer, and when they come to 165 degrees, we're going to take them out and allow them to rest at room temperature, and then we're going to serve them. Okay, we're back. We finished our 25-minute cook time for these beautiful, easy pecan sausage balls that we made with turkey sausage, and y'all, they're really hot. Let's take a look at how gorgeous they are. You can see the flecks of pecans. And you see I've already got one cut open just so you could see in the middle it's all the way done. Now, one thing that's instrumental when you're cooking any type of meat whatsoever, whether it's pork, beef, chicken, turkey, is an internal thermometer. And I just stuck this in these guys and made sure that it read 165 degrees, and that meant that they were done. Now, you can take them out at about 20 minutes and then turn the broiler on and just brown the tops if you like them a little more brown, but they are fantastic just like this. They have a beautiful consistency, and let's give it a taste. That's so good. The pecans add a little bit of different texture, so all you get is not meat and cheese. Now, meat and cheese and the flour and all is fine. I'm not knocking traditional sausage balls, but there's just something about the addition of those pecans. It just adds that texture, and they have a little bit of that smoky sweetness to them where they've roasted while they've cooked. Mix up your favorite dipping sauce or not. They don't need anything. But a lot of people love these with like a mustard and like a spicy mustard and a mayonnaise and a little bit of honey dipping sauce. Perfect. The best holiday treat that you'll find. We hope that you will head over to thebutteredhome.com and get your copy of this recipe for free. While you're there, make sure you sign up for our VIP email list. We send one email a week, except for Christmas time, where we do our cookie share. And we help you plan your meals for the whole week, absolutely free of charge to you. Also, make sure you're following us on all of our social channels. You'll never know when we pop in with tips or tricks or just go live and make a big old mess in here, and you won't want to miss that. And if you want all of our videos in one convenient place, head over to YouTube, search for The Buttered Home, and when you find us, hit that subscribe button and ding the bell so that you can be notified when we drop new videos like this one. Woo! Big D's gonna be happy about these. I may or may not tell him that they are made with turkey. From all of us here at The Buttered Home to your home, we sure love you. Bye.